Oh, you look lovely.
Thank you.
You really do.
Not far for an old one.
70-year-old Edna and 31-year-old Simon hit the headlines when they got married in July 2005 because he's almost 40 years younger than her.
I first met Eddie when a friend of mine invited me over to a concert at the Odeon Western Supermare, and she was standing there and she was like nobody I'd ever met, nobody I'd ever seen before, and she was very tall, very glamorous, and I had no inkling that the lady I was seeing there would be my future wife. No inkling at all, but I knew there was something. And I think you did too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Simon came through the stage door and lit up like a Christmas tree. And that's a pretty stunning thing to happen. And we just rushed into each other's arms and gave each other a kiss. And that was that. I was very surprised at the depth of feeling I have for Simon and how much I love him. Because I have had relationships and been married before, but I've never loved anyone as much as I love Simon.
I was getting these feelings which I didn't understand what they were. It was only when she actually said to me on the phone, and she said, "Hang on, you're talking about love." I said, "Is that what it is? Is that the feeling I've got?" She said, "Yes."
I didn't expect to fall in love. I didn't want to fall in love. I didn't look for another relationship. But there he was, and that was it. It's very special here under the pier in Weston because this is where we exchanged our first kiss when we sneaked away from a concert at the Odeon and no one knew we'd gone. And it's also the place where we exchanged our engagement rings on Valentine's Day, isn't it, my darling?
Oh, God, yes. With absolutely howling gale.
And freezing cold.
Yes.
Stay with me.
And it was only 6 months later that Edna and Simon were to become Mr. and Mrs. Martin.
We don't function without the other person, do we?
Well, no, not at all. I mean, that's really what sparked all this, because the whole reason that we're together is just that. We can't function without each other. We have to be together. That's the way it's got to be.
Good, isn't it?
Pretty damn good, yeah.
59-year-old Norma and 27-year-old Chris certainly understand. Their 32-year age gap doesn't stop them from having fun.
Help me, spirit, don't blow over my head!
No, because I'm going to get on that one.
No, you don't!
We've been together for 10 years. It's good. It's not been all plain sailing all the way, but we've had our ups and downs and we've come through them.
I've always liked these up and down horses, and I don't think I'll ever not like them. I still feel young, whether I go on them or not. I suppose I am very young.
More for you than for me, isn't it?
Yeah. I said to him, there's classy music on here, and he said if they want to play garage on them. Can you imagine garage on the Dobby horses? When I first met Chris, I was at a holiday camp, and I thought when he came towards me, I had a shaven head, and I thought, oh no, he's going to mug me and pinch my handbag. And then when he came towards me, he was quite nice, and he started talking to me, and I warmed to him, and I wasn't frightened of him anymore. So I just liked him, and I took him back to my chalet, and we had a coffee, and we've been together ever since.
When I first met Norma, I never thought that when I went up to her I would actually get any luck that night, and certainly didn't think that I would end up getting married to her, but the way things have turned out is good for me. Sweet breeze.
What a gentleman. You take the blooming
Swap over.
nice one and I've got to have the rip one. That's not a gentleman.
We've had a few odd comments from people that we've met over the past 10 years. We've had funny stares in the street, and we've had kind of more open opinion from people.
This is what you do when you're an old woman, but not with a guy your age. What about in that shop where I got spat at?
Yeah, Norma was spat at once in Asda.
Yeah.
I think that the people that hold a dim view of our relationship are very narrow-minded and should really keep their opinions to themselves.
But despite the disapproval, more and more middle-aged women want a toy boy and are even heading to the Sun to find one. Sun, sea, sand and sex. More and more middle-aged British women are heading abroad to find young sunshine lovers, and some even end up starting a new life with them. This is exactly what 45-year-old Elaine Walker did when she left the UK and her daughter to be with her 25-year-old Turkish toy boy Ali.
First night I saw Ali, I came in with my daughter, sat here at the bar, spotted Ali DJing in the box. We just sort of got eye contact, started smiling to each other, got up dancing with my daughter, kept dancing a bit closer to the DJ box, did that for about 2 nights, started chatting. He gave me his phone number, and that night we got together. That was it, we've been together ever since.
Okay, yeah.
We have to see how much that is.
I couldn't believe it at first. This gorgeous young man liked me. It was absolutely fantastic, but it was just meant to be.
15.
How much?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Do you want it?
If you want,
Do you want it?
if you want.
Oh, you love Crazy Frog.
Yeah.
She's beautiful, very good person. I love.
Seeing that you love Crazy Frog so much, we've
Yeah.
got to buy him, haven't we? So you've got the towel now and
Yeah.
the T-shirt.
We have collection.
Yes.
First thing we discussed was our age difference, but then within minutes it wasn't a problem between us. We had no reservations at all about it. It was just, everything was just so natural between us.
Oh yeah. Is that here? No.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Very, very good physical relationship. Fantastic sex life, yes.
Yeah.
Even there, we're on the same wavelength together sexually. Very good together. Yeah. Before I went home back to England, it was very upsetting for both of us. That was when we realised that it was more than just a holiday thing, a romance, that we had real feelings. I cried a lot, didn't want to go home. And when I did go home, we phoned each other constantly, texted each other constantly, and just couldn't wait to come back. It was too hard being apart. So I came back as quickly as I could.
Elaine was so eager to return to Turkey that she left her 15-year-old daughter Laura in her North Yorkshire home, and the tabloids went wild when they heard she had only £25 to live on.
Laura was supposed to come with us to live here, to be with Ali. I booked her flight, I paid for her ticket, and she was with me that day when I booked it. And then about a week before we were due to fly out, she said she wouldn't come. She didn't want to come. She wanted to live at her friend. She'd already organised everything with her friend and her friend's parents, who I had a meeting with to verify all this, that everything was going to be fine. After I came to be with Ali, about 2 weeks later, it all went in the papers that I'd abandoned her. I didn't abandon her. It was her choice, and I made sure she was safe and looked after, and her education was going to be taken care of. Papers got it all wrong. I got blamed for the wrong thing.
Elaine's daughter tells a different story in newspaper interviews. She claims there was no note, no money, and she hasn't been able to contact her mum since she left for Turkey.
Let's have a look.
I haven't spoken to Laura. She's been texting me quite a bit until it all hit the papers really bad, and then she stopped texting me.
Elaine is now living in Seaday, where the abundance of British tourists means she's often recognised.
That's nice.
No one from England has spoken to me. They won't speak, they just stare at me and point. But they won't talk to me because they believe what they read.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
I wish circumstances had been different, very different. But I can't change that. That's in the past now. We've got our future all planned out. We know exactly what we want. First of all, we're going to get married as quick as we can. Spend the rest of our life together. Have a baby. And bring that baby up together. Yes, that is our future planned. That's what we want.
And for the cynics who think Ali is in love with Elaine just to get a British passport, apparently they're wrong.
He won't go to England. Doesn't want to go to England. This is our home, Turkey. We're not going to England ever.
I've got my partner for life now. And that's it. It's all been worth it, definitely.
Chris,
Yes?
could you just wash up for me? I'm just going to make a cup of tea and a snack.
In a minute.
Oh, please, come on, you always say that. You're always in a minute.
All right then.
Please.
You better just take...
Norma and Chris have already proved that age gap relationships can last. They've been together for 10 years.
Right. There's problems with having an age gap relationship. You get extra problems like families not understanding, disagreeing.
Friends deserting you.
Yeah, people looking at you in the street, saying things to you, saying like, is that your granny? Is that your mum? Everybody, when we go in a shop, everywhere we go, they'll say, is that your son? Don't they?
Yeah, if we get
or they'll say
talking...
to him, is it your mum?
If we get talking to strangers, they'll automatically assume that Norma's my mum, but she's not. I've got my own mum.
Oh no, don't bother him. I might give him a bit of advice now and again, but with me being older than him, it's like that I know more than him. He doesn't like taking the advice because he thinks I'm mothering him. He thinks I'm mothering him, but I'm not. I'm just sort of helping him to not make the mistakes I made when I was young. So I think that's what it is. Do you want me to break these up?
I've got an easier life being with Norma. With her being older, she's more refined and, you know, she keeps her home. So I've got a good deal with Norma. We'll have to go out later. Karaoke or something.
Oh yeah.
Do you fancy that?
Tonight? Yeah. I'll have to get ready though.
Go down Queen's Arms if you want.
Queen's Arms?
Yeah, I've been down there for a while. So much has happened in the last 10 years. We've had some major ups and major downs. We were to have been together for a couple of years and we began to tiff and argue. And I didn't know what I wanted and I was getting pressure from friends and other people to go and explore life a little bit. So I did. And I made the mistake of going out with another older woman, a relative of Norma's.
And when I told her that I was going out with you, she went, oh, I wouldn't mind a toy boy. You know, she was a bit jealous and I think she made a play for you.
And it was the biggest mistake that I ever made. It took a long time to repair it and I came back in 99 and we got married in August 99 and we've been together again ever since, but I hurt Norma a lot doing that and I wouldn't make the same mistakes again.
Yeah, it's
Realised
sort of,
what I wanted, didn't I?
Yeah, I've forgiven him, but you never forget. Yeah, he doesn't seem to understand that you never forget. And it's sort of like a beautiful painting with a scratch. You know, it's sort of scratched it, hasn't it? Scratched the surface.
Send it for repair.
It'll take a long time.
Grandmother of 3 Edna and her husband, organist Simon, have no such problems. They only have eyes for each other.
Simon, my darling, do you think you could play our special tune, Good Night, Sweetheart?
Oh, I think we could manage that, love.
Wonderful. I've never been my true chronological age, and I don't think I ever will be. Most people my own age find me extremely tiresome because I've got too much energy and I'm fizzing. So Simon's very good for me in that respect, but I think I'm good for Simon as well.
I think if I hadn't have met Edna, I wouldn't be here. I'd be gone. In another 6 years or whatever, I was that unhappy. I used to sit around and I didn't want to go on. I was in such a state. Meeting Edna has pulled me back from the brink. So that's one of the reasons why she's so important to me, apart from the fact that I love her to bits.
I brought Simon right out of himself, right out into the world. He's doing things, going places, meeting people he would never have met had we not met. And it is nothing but a joy to see that happening with him.
Meeting Edna has changed my whole life, everything for me. I've got a brighter future than I've ever had before. And also the opportunity at last to bring happiness into life of somebody I really, really do love. In fact, I think she's the first person I've ever really loved. And I think she's going to be the only person I'm ever really going to love.
31-year-old Simon was a virgin when they met.
Even though I had never had a sexual relationship of any kind before I met Eddie, what I do mostly is instinctive. So I brought my instinctive feeling and need to love and give love, as well as be loved. Eddie brought her experience and feelings of devotion and joy and love and all that.
It's like the more you give, the more I want.
It's a wonderful combination. I think we're fortunate in that our love life is so wonderfully healthy and it brings such a lot of pleasure to both of us, which is really as it should be.
I love you.
Love you.
Oh, I'm done. Sit down there a minute.
Oh. That's all you ever do, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Watching the telly again, as usual.
Oh, things on tonight I want to watch.
Well, we're going out.
When we come back.
All right. You're going to be bed at 4 o'clock in the morning again?
No, a bit earlier tonight. Thought I was
3 o'clock.
Thought I was going to have an early night tonight.
Oh, yeah? Who said?
I'm
Sex with a younger man
going to promise you, sir.
is probably better, for me anyway, because he's got more energy. I'm more young in my mind. Although I'm older than him, I'm still young, like an 18-year-old in my head. So I suppose having a younger toy boy husband is quite good for me, because I don't want some miserable old codger that's not interested in me.
Going out with an older woman, I think the sexual side of it is better, being what we've been with younger girls my own age in the past. You know, I'd like to say that the myth that older women are better in the bedroom department is definitely not a myth.
In a few months I'll have my pension book, and that worries me a lot. I worry about certain things that I've got wrong with me, like you say, gravity doesn't help. I used to have sex with the light on, but now I won't. I put the light off. It makes me feel better and more confident if he doesn't see it, because I feel a bit conscious of a few bit of bulges and lines. I've got a few lines on my face. I've got freckles on my hands, and I've got a few little spider veins on my legs. Good. Yeah, but I've got spider veins on my legs. I've got them age spots on my hands.
Don't worry about it. Stop moaning.
I wish I didn't have it. I wish I could go back to being 27 like you.
Although Edna is 11 years older than Norma, she remains young at heart with a self-image to match.
Tell me, how do you feel? Do you think I'm an old lady?
Yeah, I've never thought of you as an old lady.
I'm glad,
That's the first time I met you.
I don't feel like an old lady at all. I feel the same as I've ever felt. My knees are no good, but I just ignore them. And so, what's new? It just is totally irrelevant to our life, really, isn't it? Well, I think it is. I think you feel the same, don't you?
Well, as I say, it's never even been a thought for me.
It's got nothing to do with who we are, you know. Not for me. Has it for you?
No. Doesn't bother me at all. There's nothing.
And despite being the most talked about newlyweds in the country, they don't mind the gap.
Well, I don't think we have any issues in spite of our age gap. My children are older than Simon. I don't think we've got any problems with that, have we?
No, not at all. There's never been any hint of anything like that.
No, my daughter made our wedding cake, and my son gave me away. Said he couldn't wait to get rid of me. Had me far too long. And Simon and Russell relate to each other like a pair of brothers, which is wonderful.
And they aren't worried about not being able to have their own children.
Well, do you feel there's a problem?
Well, no. I've never felt there was a problem at all. People have always come up with this, and I've never felt it would be a problem. Eddie doesn't feel it either.
No. Simon treats all children as though they are in fact his children, and the children that he sees when he's playing love him, and he sits at the organ and they put their hands on top of his and he helps them to play, and they ask him for his autograph and stand behind him looking adoringly at him. I don't think there are any drawbacks to having an age gap relationship. We have friends and family on both sides of every age, don't we?
Yeah.
And we relate to all of them in the same way that we relate to everybody. We're just so happy that people can't help being happy when they're in the same room as us.
A bit wrong.
Keep young and beautiful.
Wrinkles are the curse of age gap relationships, particularly when you're nearly 60 and your hubby's just 27.
You want to be loved.
It is a big worry of mine getting older, especially with having a younger man. If he was with somebody that was my own age, it wouldn't matter because he'd be getting old as well. But Chris is actually a lot younger than me, so when I get really wrinkled, he might sort of not love me anymore.
So Norma has decided to take drastic steps to reduce the 32-year age gap, but Chris isn't that happy about it.
I wonder what people are going to say, you know, with me having this stuff done to my face. They'll say, you told me to have it done.
This is a part of the reason why I didn't want you to have it done, because no matter what you say to people, they're going to think that I've made you do this because you're older than me.
Yeah, but I want it done for myself.
But people should...
yeah, but I look in the mirror and I think...
Mine.
They can say what they want. I mean, as long as I'm going to be happy having it done, and you're all right about it, what is it to do with anybody else anyway?
Good luck.
I need it.
I don't know why I'm worried, but I just am. I'm just worried that she's having something done cosmetic. I suspect that if she has this treatment, then she'll want more afterwards, and she could get addicted to plastic surgery or something, but I hope not.
I'm having a whole body lift when I can afford it. I'm in a lottery. I'm having my whole body lifted.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with plastic surgery in general, but you just never think that your partner or wife or husband's going to do that.
Okay.
And I'm just surprised that she is going to do that.
I feel better now that I've had something done. It's a start, and I will have more stuff done. Now I've got the confidence that it doesn't hurt that much. It's given me sort of a, yeah, I'm going to have more, you know what I mean? This is the start of it, and I'm definitely going to come back in a couple of weeks. Oh, I'm relieved now. Feel better now.
I can't believe you've had it done.
Chair that sat in when I was a young boy, and then 15 years old, and then as a paying customer, I should say, back then, and now...
No, your mum paid.
Well, yeah, exactly, a paying customer. Now, I suppose, yeah, the bonus to get it done for free, but it's just as and when she can try and fit me in, as I don't pay. But no, it's quite weird, I suppose, knowing that this is where I sat when I was, God, 5, 6 years old.
A wee slip of a lad.
That's the one. And then now I'm here.
Criticise us. At the beginning, I think people thought it was me going through a midlife crisis, have a bit of fun with somebody younger, and that's all it was meant to be. But the longer it's gone on, people find it more difficult to accept now. My family have accepted Ollie.
Come here.
His side of the family feel at his age he should be sowing his wild oats around town, not sort of tied to a house with a mortgage, bills and everything, because it's not glamorous. I think people think they see it as if I've taken a step backwards.
Well, is it a good step backwards?
Yes.
There we go then. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yep. Ollie and Sarah are determined to prove everyone wrong. After 4 years together, they're planning to tie the knot. It's probably more important to Ollie because it's his first. That sounds awful. It is important to me.
I'm not sure I want to get married to Sarah. Obviously because I love Sarah, and I think we're good together. And I just think we're really, really good. We're friends as well as lovers, and can't think of any better way to spend my life.
Well, I want to make him proud of me. I don't want to look silly, because when you get to a certain age, you don't want to look mutton dressed as lamb. Thank you. That's exactly what I mean.
My mates, when they first found out I was going out with an older lady, they went, "Hey, good for you, you know, older woman, more experienced." And I said, "Well, you know, she could probably teach me a few things. I could certainly teach her a few things." And I don't think we have any problems in that department, do we, dear?
Definitely don't. For my part, I think women in their 40s do come into their own. I think you get more or less inhibited. You're happier in your own skin. And somebody that much younger has got plenty of stamina. So yes, I would definitely agree that the age gap is beneficial from that side of things. Sit. I think we'll be together forever.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll grow old gracefully together. I've got a head start.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that Norma feels 10 years younger, she is off with husband Chris for that date down at the karaoke.
Who are you? I'm Chris. You're Chris. And who you come with? Your mother. Norma. Who's Norma?
It's my missus.
Your missus. About long?
10 years.
10 years! She met him when he was at school.
Now we've got into it, now we've got used to people looking at us. We quite enjoy it, actually. We quite enjoy it. We're a little bit naughty about it, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it, I don't mean like that. You're at it again.
Right. No, you're
at it again.
I'll be on my pension soon in a few months. I'm 60 nearly.
You're 60 nearly? And how old are you now?
27.
27. Oh my God. Don't work that one out.
People look at you, say, it's your son and things like that, and you go, no, it's not my husband. And they go, mm-hmm. And it's quite fun.
It's not our usual version, this, is it, love?
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out until it's too blooming low for me, this.
Well, I don't know if all that's true. Maybe I got you.
It's changed the bloody key.
I can definitely be the boring one in this relationship.
That's what I mean. I'm trying to think of the word. He's boring. He's more boring than me. Like, I get up singing and sort of I wake up and I'm all pleasant and cheerful, and he wakes up, fag. I can't talk till I've had a fag. You know, sort of a miserable look on his face, and I'm all happy and singing. He's, oh, shut up, I've not woke up yet.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
I got flowers.
There are some things that I think are holding Chris back being married to me, like the not being able to have children. That's one big thing, but we've talked about it and decided to sort of forget about that one.
Norma thinks that she's done me out of my usual life. You know, if we were the same age, we would probably have children by now, and she thinks that she's done my parents out of grandchildren, and she's done me out of an active life, so to speak. But it's all been worth it, you know, and I don't think that Norma really has done me out of anything. It was all my decision, and I went into it knowing what I was doing.
And I've kept you on the straight and narrow, haven't I?
I got you to hold my hand.
I got you to understand.
I got you to walk with me.
I got you to talk with me.
I got you.
Give a nice round of applause there to Chris and Norma.
I'd fancied her since I first met her when I was 18, and it just seemed to take so long to get together. So as soon as I found out, I was really chuffed, and we just took it from there.
Was it worth it though?
Yeah.
It's the first time twice-married Ruth has had a younger partner, and that's why she hesitated for 18 months before finally agreeing to date Simon.
Younger men I've never really looked at before. I mean, it's like a bloke looking at a woman and saying jailbait. That's what I thought of younger men. That's why I stayed away. But since I met Simon, it just, nothing's bothered about like that. It's not even crept up. It's just me and him, and that's it, isn't it?
Just the two of them. Well, just the two of them and Ruth's kids, Tucker and Caleb, who live with them. And there's Ruth's 8 other kids and 18 grandchildren who pop round every so often. 6 of her kids are older than Simon, and Ruth is 10 years older than Simon's mum.
It's strange when you think about it like that, being with a woman older than my mum, but you just don't see it, is it? Just doesn't... Don't think of it at all or nothing like that. Just, it's Ruth. My partner. It's, I don't know.
We have similar interests. I mean, we both love cooking. We cook different recipes from around the world. No matter what crap, we'll have a go at any type of food. I never used to until I met Simon. We both like wrestling, both like bikes. We just have an awful lot in common, really, don't we?
Don't tend to argue, neither.
No, we don't argue. I mean, we have mock arguments where the kids join in, you know, and it's just hysterical because we just fall about laughing, don't we, when it's all finished. So, apart from that, it's just laughing all the time, isn't it?
Although it isn't laughter all the time, as Ruth suffers from a rare medical condition, which means she has around 400 orgasms a week. For Ruth, it's a case of far too much of a good thing. "49-year-old Ruth has been with her toy boy, 21-year-old Simon, for over 2 years. Ruth suffers from a rare condition called multiple orgasm syndrome, and it helps to have a partner with lots of stamina. Lucky then that Simon is 28 years younger than her.
The multiple orgasms themselves is about 50 to 60 times a day. To be honest, I've given up counting now, because it's happened that frequently. I mean, when I'm normal like this and awake, I can control them to a certain degree. But if I sneeze or if anything backs into my stomach, then I can't control them, and most of the times I pass out. I mean, when I sneeze and I go down, I'm only out for a split second. But then the orgasm takes over and I can't move because I kind of all curl up. And I can hear everything, but it's muffled and in slow motion. They're very intense. It's the exact same thing, but you don't get the thrill. It just happens, and I can't stop it. So, and when we do make love, I found that it's a lot more intense than it ever used to be. So, and a lot more exhausting as well.
But rather than bringing them together, the condition actually puts a strain on their relationship, as Simon needs to be with Ruth around the clock.
Just panic. Just try and grab hold of Ruth, stop her from collapsing in a heap, really. Sometimes I don't manage to get there, and it's just quite hard, really.
I don't enjoy it one bit. A lot of people think it's a laugh, and they say, oh yeah, I wish I could have it. I wish they'd get it. And then they'd understand exactly what I'm going through, how it restricts my life, restricts the time I have with my grandchildren, plus my own 2 children what are still at home. There's not as many things I can do with them that I'd like to do. If they come for a cuddle, they have to come side on. They know not to touch my stomach. As far as they're concerned, it's just Mum's got a tummy complaint.
So, but you know what children are like, they're very inquisitive. And they soon find out what the names are and start telling their friends. So, but I just wish somebody else had the same problem. And then doctors could get their heads together and actually find out what is going on and what's triggering it.
Due to the condition, Ruth's sex drive is sky high and her demands can be wearing, even for 21-year-old Simon.
Perhaps it does help with having a younger man, because obviously he can keep up with the pressures, whereas I don't think an older man would be able to keep up with the pressure.
It is too much of a good thing, really. I mean, Ruth having this condition, sex drive is right up there, and you get those days where you just feel harassed. And then there's the other days, like you say, yeah, let's go for it. But it made me quite paranoid, especially with Ruth sneezing. I get jumpy, hear anyone else sneeze, I jump up thinking it's Ruth, and it's not nice at all.
It's very tiring. I'm always tired, always taking a nap. It's embarrassing. And to be honest, I wish it had just vanished as quick as it reared its ugly head.
Despite her health problems, Ruth and Simon are optimistic about the future and are really hoping that they can add to Ruth's tally of 10 kids.
Me and Ruth would like to have kids together. It complete the circle between us, really. Me and Caleb and Tucker, they're great, but it's just one of our own, really. And what we're planning to get married as well, I just think it'd complete it, really.
We've been trying for a child for nearly 2 years. Nothing's transpired. We are booked into having talks at the fertility clinic at Blackpool. So, but whether my age will go against me, and with having children already, we don't know whether we'll be accepted. Because of my condition, I do worry that we can't have a child. But like I say, we can't go against nature if it doesn't happen, but it'd be an added bonus if it did. I mean, it'd be great for the lads. I mean, they've been going mad for a baby in the house, haven't you? Eh? What would you prefer, boy or girl?
Girl.
A girl.
But Ruth is quite aware that she probably won't be the last woman in Simon's life.
I sit and I think sometimes and think, right, if we've got another 20 years together, at least when I'm gone, he's got a chance to get married again and have a family, because he'll still be young enough to do that. But Simon doesn't like me talking like that, do you?
And it seems he is not alone.
It is important to talk about, obviously, Norma approaching the age where, oh no, I can't say it like that, I really can't.
Go on.
No, no.
Just say it.
No, I'm not.
Whatever time we have together is going to be precious. If it's only 1 year, then we said that actually to each other, that we wanted that time together, however short or however long it's going to be, and we'll make the best use of it that we can.
It's just not something we think about.
No, it's not something that's in the forefront of our minds thinking, oh, the future, I'm going to be so much older than you, I'm going to be, drawing a pension whilst you're still nearly the same age you are.
And I'm determined to be here a very long time because I love Simon so much. I need to be here to make him happy.
And I need to be here to make Eddie happy too.
It maybe will bother me in 20 years that my sex life will go down the pan. But we love each other that much that will be our big test. If I can't handle that, there are other options.
Like what?
Like your left hand.